Hey all, it's Lionel here and welcome to this ethical hacking practical for the Mumbai University MSc IT syllabus. In this practical, we'll be looking at the different sort of system hacking tools. Uh, One requirement, if I look at the software, we'll be looking at software such as ADS Spy, CHNTPW, Lofcrack, LCP, Offcrack, Password Dump, Quickstego, Rainbow Crack, Snow and WinArtisan. One requirement for this practical is that your machine account should have a password set up on it. So how do I set a password? If I right click on my computer and go into the manage option, inside manage on the left hand side there will be local users and groups. Inside users I have created an account called EH. On that I've already set a password for it. The first thing first is if I go to see maximum number of the practicals are all dependent upon using pwdump. When I look at pwdump is one program which when you double click on top of it, it will not help you do anything. You need to run this program from the command line. So first thing first is I will start a command line. I will move to the pwdump folder, and if I run the command pwdump.7.exe, you can see that it is extracting the different accounts and the respective passwords from the SAM file. Now I don't want this password visible over here on my command prompt. I want to view the passwords in maybe a separate file. So what I'll do, I will pipe this output to a file called maybe sys password.txt. So what will happen is whatever the output of the pwdump7 program will be now outputted into a separate file called syspassword, and that file will be in the folder where pwdump7 is located. So if I open this up a bit, and let's say if I increase the font a bit, I can see that I'm having different accounts: administrator, guest, help assistant, support, iuser, iabam and asp.net. If you go to see that I can have each account is having a different ID. If the ID is 500 means that is an administrator type of account. If you go to see over here, EH is having a password over here. This is my hash of the password, and this is another hash. Normally what happens is if I'm having a password that is 14 characters and less, the password is always generated in the form of an LM hash or a LAN manager hash. The moment my password length goes beyond 14 characters, then by default on that password the NTLM hash is applied. So if you go to see over here for my EH account, my password, I've set the password as a very simplistic thing. I've set the password as root, hence it is showing me the LM hash for it. If maybe I'd gone for a very larger value of the password, then this would be blank and only the NTLM hash value would have been displayed over there. Alright, so what I'll do, I'll copy this and I shall paste it to my desktop. Alright, uh, the first thing first is we'll be looking at a program called Lofcrack for doing the password cracking. We'll do the password cracking first and then we'll come to working with NTFS data streams. So when I start the Lofcrack program, the Lovecraft program will give me a wizard like this. I will want to use it. I'll click next. I have different options. Do I want to retrieve it from the local machine, from a remote machine, from a SAM system backup, or by sniffing a local network? For this program I'll be doing it from a local machine. I want to do a very strong password audit. When you select a strong password audit, what the system will do, a system will then use a combination of different password cracking techniques like maybe dictionary, brute force, to break the password and get the password from the hash file. And I click next. Let's say I want to display the encrypted password hashes as well, and I want to see the auditing button. I'll click on next, and finally I'll click on finish. When I click on finish, it asks me to copy the Lovecrack agent. I'll click on OK, and it'll start the agent service. If you see, then it'll import the different accounts into my system over here. On the right hand side, it is showing me a different technique. Like currently, if you go to see over right now, the dictionary hybrid mode is running. it is around 70-80% done. After one mode is done, then I'll start moving on the next one. Now currently the brute force mode is running. It is showing me time elapsed and how much time remaining. It is showing me time remaining as 4 hours. The time to brute force will be dependent upon various factors. It will depend upon the password complexity. It will also depend upon the system speed. I was interested in my password for my username EH. The password is root. Since this was an LM password, we all know that when I'm working with LM based password, when I'm working with LM hashes, it is not case sensitive. If I'm typing my password small letters, the system by default converts into capital letters and then perform the different LM, it perform the LM hashing technique upon it. So once I get my password, this is the end of it. I know what is my password and I will show this to my examiner, to the person who will be conducting the practical exam. Okay. The next thing is using LCP. When I say LCP, the interface is pretty much self-explanatory. What I need to do, I need to first import my password from my pwdump file. My pwdump file is this is password file, and if you see right now, it is now showing me the username, the LM password, the NT password, and the LM hash. Currently EH is having this LM hash and the NT hash. All you need to do is click on play or begin audit. What it'll perform, it'll perform the dictionary attack first, then it'll perform the hybrid attack, and then finally it'll perform the brute force attack. I can see that the hybrid attack is 40, it's almost done over here. After this gets done, it'll then move on to doing the brute force attack. My EH account password was root, which has already been revealed over here. It has now gone on to the brute force attack, and it is showing me time remaining as 50 minutes over there. It is working at a very high key rate per second. I have gotten the password of my account and my requirement has been satisfied. My suggestion is, when you're trying this practical, try as much as possible keeping very simplistic passwords. The more complex passwords you keep, the more time it will take for getting it cracked over there. Yes. The next thing is using offcrack. Offcrack works on the basis of rainbow tables. Now for the offcrack, we will need to download different rainbow tables. If you go to offcrack site, they have different rainbow tables depending upon the operating system. They have Vista based rainbow tables. Since I'm working with XP, I have downloaded the XP free rainbow table from the offcrack site. The offcrack site has different rainbow table for different operating systems, and they have different rainbow table based on the complexity and the number of passwords which you want to target over there. The XP free small will have a small amount of rainbow table for different passwords. If I downloaded there are different versions which are like 3 gigs, 2 gigs in size. The one which I have downloaded is the XP free small, is around 353 megs in size. So after you extract this zip file, I can see the different tables and different indexes. It has around 3 tables. Oops, around it has 4 tables, from table 0 to table 3 over here. Enough correct. First thing first, I will load the pwdump file, which is same sys password file on my desktop. Alright. Second thing is, I need to select my rainbow tables. If you see over here, XP free small is showing me a not installed. What I will do, I will click on XP free small. Or if you download the other table, if you download maybe the Vista special extra large, or maybe the XP freeze fast, or the Vista free, you will need to select them and then browse for the table folder location. I have downloaded XP free small. I'll select it, I'll click on install, and then I'll browse to the location where the thing is located. This is practical 4, and I will go and select XP free smart, click on OK. The moment I select it, you can see that it is showing me now a green icon for it. It is showing me table 0 to table 3 and it's showing me on this. This means that the table has been selected successfully. All you need to click on OK right now. In this view right now, if I go to see, it is showing me tables below and it is showing me the passwords hashes on top. The only thing remaining to be done is now is to click on the option of crack over there. When I click on crack, I can see that this option now click change to stop. I can see the options that are running below. I can see the table being loaded in the RAM. I can see the percentage that is performed. It is saying 20% brute force perform. I can see that the EH account's password has now been revealed to be as root. Let's say if I wait for a few more seconds, if I can get the other password as well. 38%, 40%. It is now 60% done, and I can see that it has shown me what is the password for the help assistant. So I have been able to find out what is the password for the EH account that is root, and the help assistant account that is QPY7UJI. Just click on stop. The next thing is using a thing called Rainbow Crack. When I'm using the Rainbow Crack program, I will need to generate my own rainbow tables for it. We use a program called WinRTGen or Windows Rainbow Table Generator for generation of rainbow tables. I've tried this before. Let me just delete the previous file. Okay. When I say WinRTGen, I will need to add a table. Alright. So my rainbow tables can work on different properties. First thing first is I need to understand which type of hash am I targeting. I know that my EH account had an LM hash visible. That means that it had an LM hash type of password over there. I will need to specify the minimum length and the maximum length. Let's say for the sake of doing this faster, I will enter maybe a length of 5. Chain count, and normally try to reduce it by twice because if I keep this a very large size, it takes a very large number of time, maybe in hours, for it to perform the generation. The character set specify which type of character do you want to target. Do I want to target a password that is having alphanumeric and spaces in it? Do I want it to target maybe just byte based data in it, or do I want to target alphanumeric? I know that, let's say I'm targeting just alphabet for it because I know that my password is root right now. I'll just click on OK, and finally if I go to decipher this file naming convention, it is having an LM hash that is working only on alphabets. It is taking a length that is 1 to 5 characters in length, 2400 and a 4400,000 length. And I'll click on OK. When I click on OK, it'll start generation of the rainbow tables. Let's say I'll stop this, and let's say I will just reduce the length more. 1 2 3 to keep it as 40,000 LM, and click on OK. And let's say I will remove the previous thing out. Let's see if I just keep a smaller length, if it takes it or not. Start, and as you can see that the percentage is now going much faster over there. While this is doing, I will try to import my, I know that my EH account is using an LM hash, so I will select the LM hash option. I'll browse for the pwdump extracted file. I'll select it, and I can see that it is now imported the hashes over here. It is showing me the comments, which is the user accounts over there. The rainbow table generation is almost complete. Once this is done, I'll select this. Okay, it's fully done. I will now exit this program. In rainbow table, I will search for the rainbow table. I will go to my WinRTGen folder, and I will select the rainbow table which is generated and click on open. The moment I click on open, I can see that it is now performing some work right now. And I can see it was not successful because I had chosen a very smaller length of 40,000. The generation of the rainbow table may have completed faster, but it did not help me crack the password over here. So what I'll do right now is I will try to regenerate it, but keeping it a very larger value of 400,000 for the chain count, maximum length of 5. Let's say maximum length of, I'll keep it less, I'll keep it length of 4, and I'll click on OK. I'll let this generate and I'll get back once the generation has been done. Alright, so the rainbow table has been generated for a chain count of 400,000. Let's see if, and if you go to see, it is giving me a file that is around 6.10 megs in size. Let's say I'll try to search a rainbow table and I'll select the rainbow table again, and let's see if it uses this and it's able to crack the password again. Alright, by giving a chain count of 400,000, it has been able to find out what is the password of my account. It is showing me that the plain text value is root, and if I convert the plain text value of root into hexadecimal, this is the hexadecimal value for it. Alright, so I have cracked my account password. I will select stop, and if I go through it, I can see that it has found 1 of 9 accounts. It will show me the entire statistics of how much time it has taken, what is the chain traversal time and stuff. Alright, the next part of this practical is using or performing white space encryption using a program called Snow. So let's say I will cd dot dot and I will clear screen and I will move it into Snow. Right. If it is Snow dash help, it will not show me anything. So Snow is a program that allows me to take some sort of message or a secret message and hide it in the white spaces or of a text file, for example. So what we need is, for this practical, I will need to have a text file. Let's say I'm going to have a text file that is having a thing that is called as file1. So I will create a new text document. I'll give it as file1, and let's say I will say that I'll type some text. Hello world, this is Lionel here, and I'll save it. Alright, so when I'm working with Snow, let's just change the size of this a little bit so it becomes readable to you. Alright, so first thing first is I need to use the Snow command. When I'm using Snow, I need to specify the Snow program. Along with this, I will need to specify uh, that I'm doing when I'm trying to hide a message. So I'll use -c and I'll specify the message as -m, followed by text which I want to hide in it. So let's say welcome to practicals is the message I want to hide inside. I will also need to specify password. Let's say password is something like magic, and I am hiding this into my file1.txt, and I'm creating it a file2.txt over here. So when I hit enter, it is showing me that it has been compressed and it is showing me different available space. If I go to see in that folder, file2 has been created. If I open this file2 right now, let's say if I'm opening file 1, if I do a control A, you can see that in file 1 it is only selecting the text part of my file. But let's see what will happen if I do control A in my file 2. The moment I do control A in file 2, it is selecting the text as well as blank spaces. When this happens, I know that my white spaces or my blank spaces in my file is having something hidden inside of it. So if when I want to find out what is hidden inside of it, what I will need to do, I will need to give this file as an input to the snow program again. So I'm working with snow again. I'll specify -c, and if I specify the file2.txt, it'll give me some sort of junk type of character this way. This is because we have set a password for it. So in order for it to extract the data from it, I will need to explicitly specify what is the password used. That is magic. So when I specify snow capital -c -p, the password and the file2.txt, it is now showing me what is the data or the message that was hidden in the white spaces inside of file1.txt, which was created as file2.txt. Coming to the next thing is using NTFS data streams. Let's say I will create two text files on my desktop, file1 and file2. This is one, save it. This is 2, and I'll save this as well. So one requirement of this practical is that when you are doing NTFS data streams, alternating data streams, the partition on which the files are residing needs to be an NTFS partition. If they are not an NTFS partition, then this part of the practical will not work. So I will start a command prompt. I will move to the folder having my file, that is my desktop. If I do a dir files.txt, I can see that I'm having both file 1 and file 2. Now let's say I want to hide the content of file 1 inside of file 2. So I hide the contents by using the type keyword. I am hiding the content of file1.txt inside of file2.txt. But when you're using ADS, you need to specify the operator of a colon over there and specify the reference file to call. That is, I'm hiding file1 inside file2, and I should be able to refer it by calling as file1.txt. Okay, so I have now hidden my file1 instead of file2.txt. Now if I say notepad file1.txt, you can see that this is showing me this is 1. Similarly, if I go and select file2.txt, it is showing me as this is 2. Now if I want to view the file which is hidden inside of file2, let's say I know it's notepad file, so I'll specify notepad. I want to open file2.txt, but I want to view the file1.txt which was hidden inside of it. So if I go and see right now, it is showing, if I go to see the header, it is having file2.txt having file1, and this is the content of that hidden file inside of file2. Along with this, we work with a program called ADS Spy. ADS Spy allows me to find a different sort of hidden ADS streams, the alternate data streams which are there in the files over there. So I've created my file2 having my file1 hidden inside of it. Let's say I only want to scan my desktop. I'll click on OK. I'll need to select the folder to scan. This folder should have the ADS type of files in it, and I'll click on scan the alternating stream. If you see over here, it is showing me that file2.txt is having file1.txt hidden inside of it. If I want to remove the hidden file, I will tick mark this and I'll select the remove selected streams from it. Now if I go back into command prompt and I try to load the file 1 from file 2, it'll give an error message that cannot find the file 2.txt. We want to create a new file. This is because the ADS spy program has removed the file 1 from file 2. I'll just click on no over there. Alright, for our next part we will be discussing about how we can reset the Windows password using the CHNTPW software. For that, what I've done is I have already set my password of my account as root, and I have now booted my system. I've shut down my system and I booted my system off the CHNTPW ISO file. So when I start it, it gives me this sort of view over there. Um, when it fully loads, it asks me the partition by number to use. If I hit on enter, it has already detected my Windows is on dev/sda1. If I hit on enter, it selects the partition itself over there. Next, it'll ask me what is the path to registry directory related to Windows disk. Windows system to configure the default one. I'll hit enter and I'll take it as it is. I'm interested in doing a password reset. If you see over here, it is showing me select which part of registry to load. I want to do a password reset, so I will be doing the first option. I'll be typing 1 and hitting enter over there. It'll ask me then what do I want to do. I'm obviously interested with doing editing of user data, so I'll type 1 and I'll hit enter again. Now it'll ask me the user to select. I'm interested in changing the account password, so I can either type the username or I can type the RID value here. I'll type hit enter. Alright, I want to clear blank the user password. I'll type 1, hit enter again. Select exclamation mark to quit. If you can see over there, me password has been cleared. Select exclamation mark to quit. I'll select exclamation mark to quit. What do you want to do? I want to quit again. One thing to take notice is when you're coming to step 4, where it is saying writing back changes, it will ask you about to write files back. Do it. By default it is n, so if you hit the enter key, it'll by default take the n value. I want to write the change, so I'll type y and hit enter over there. You can try it again if it's somehow failed. Select it or run. No. Okay, so let's see if I do control or delete. I'll just restart this machine and come back to you. Alright, because I have removed, let's say I'll log off the account and try to log in back again. I had, because I've cleared the password has been reset and I'm able to log in over here. When you're doing the selection password change option, when it asks you for the resetting of password, that time it also gave you an option whether you want to change the password. So you can either blank out the password or you can change the password totally. Next thing is using a program called QuickStego for performing image-based steganography. One correction is the earlier Snow program which we had looked at. Snow isn't white space cryptography, it's white space steganography. When I open a QuickStego program, it gives me this sort of interface. First thing I need to select the image. Let's say I'll select a sample image. I'll select sunset. After you select the image, by default, if the image has any sort of secret message in that, it will display the secret message in this type of viewer. Let's say I'll type a message, hello class. After I type the message, I need to select the hide text option. When I click on the hide text option, the text message is now hidden in my image. I need to now save this image. And when I save this image is now having the original sunset image having this hello class text hidden inside of it. Now if I open this image again, if I open a newer image in QuickStego, that is sunset 1, automatically it is able to extract and show me the hidden message. One issue with quick stego is when you're performing the steganography of plain text inside of your image, it does not give you any sort of password option. So if somebody else has the same quick stego program, the text which are hidden inside of the image will be visible over here as well. If another thing that I can do, I can select the get text option. Let's say I'll click on open image. I will select another image right now. Let's say I'll select the water lilies image. If I have a text file, I can click the open text option, browse for the text file, and the text file text will get loaded inside of my text box over here. I can then click again hide text, and I can click on save image to save it as a new stego image. If I close quick stego again, and if I try to open the water lilies one image, which is having the content of the pwdump files dumped inside of it, I should be able to view the content in my text box, and that is so over here.